Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I hope everyone is doing well tonight. Here we go on a Sunday night. What I have up there? Return of 17. Mr. T was dropping some truth proofs. I will say proofs of 17, along with other information that having fun with AI and all kinds of stuff. But there's a message behind it all. Don't you know? He doesn't post not for nothing, as they say. But we'll get into all of that and some of the moves and counter moves that have been going on. They have been warned, I put in my title. Who's they? Well, one was the guy in Nigeria. Trump was warning them about their abuses of Christians and other people of faith. They wanted to exterminate and not on the face of the earth anymore. But anyway, I play videos while people come in and get themselves a cup of coffee or a nice cold brouhaha or an adult beverage, whatever it is you want. And then we'll be like butter and get on a roll.
You want to know what it is. The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
What?
The Insurrection Act, under what conditions or terms would you?
Well, I'd do it if it was necessary. So far, it hasn't been necessary, but we have an Insurrection Act for a reason. If I had to enact it, I'd do that. If people were being killed and courts were holding us up, or governors or mayors were holding us up, sure, I'd do that. I mean, I want to make sure that people aren't killed. We have to make sure that our cities are safe.
Storm zone.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Now think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give the president tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined.
Now the gloves are off.
Some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and HE in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time. He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he perceives as enemies. Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm glad to see all of you, and I hope you're doing well. Ha ha. This is from a post. The White House put out, you see that little White House up in the corner there? Ha ha, Donald Trump. And I did a little modification to it. The return of 0017 plus. Hi, Todd. How you doing? Doc, nice to see you. Sissy's here. Ha ha. Let's everybody give me a thumbs up. That helps the video get around, right, Melinda? Kathy's here. All right. Elva, nice to see you. KNS Cleanup. I know you gave me a thumbs up like Pappy Two Bears did. Good, good. Helps the video get around. Todd's here. Nice to see you, Todd. And let's see who else. Robin's here. And if I miss anybody, you know I don't mean to. Darla's here. Wayne's here. Thank you for going by. Buy me a coffee, Wayne. I might as well get my booms lined up because we are into a new week. And I didn't get skunked. I know. Kapow! Because Wayne went by. Buy me a coffee. Help the channel out. I appreciate it. Last one was Norm a few days ago. Over there on the Rumble link. But anyway, all right, Wayne, thank you, Wayne. Let's see, who else is coming in? Let's see. My lurkers. Hello, we know you're out there, lurkers. You're welcome to be here, of course. Everybody's welcome to be here. So, anyway, man, have I got a lot of stuff crammed in the studio. You know, when you're gone for a day, you know, the world keeps turning, right? Isn't that right, Doc? Doc's here. Tammy's here. All right. Let me see. I might be able to see how many thumbs up I get. I found a new button on this here contraption. So, yeah, keep the thumbs up going. It helps. It pushes it out there for people to come take, who have maybe never seen one of my broadcasts before. You know, you'd be surprised who watches my broadcast. But anyway, boy, the rhinos, that's what I should have put in my title. Rhinos are falling right and left. And these so-called Democrats. Look at this creepo here. Remember, how many of you all have been with me for a long time? Remember, I played the video of Durham, John Durham. This creep right here. This creep right here said, you're going to end up on the ash heap of history. He said that to John Durham. And Durham said, I worry about people that like and respect me. They are respectable people. And those are the people I worry about. You're not in that group. That's a paraphrase of what Durham said. Basically, you're not a respectable person. This is him eating chicken because he was saying Trump was a chicken. And he bowed out. That video where he cries like a baby. I'm going to put that in my intro. He cries like a girl. He's been in there almost 20 years, this freak, this creep, this weirdo. And, yeah, they're saying, oh, they took away the only black district Well, he was the one that was running that black district for almost 20 years. A nasty old white, I guess I could say it, cracker. How about that? How about that? I got freedom of speech, don't I, you old cracker? But anyway, so he's history. He's history. I might have some more pictures of him or stories about him. But anyway, I love it. I knew it was coming, just a matter of time. Goodbye to you, you creep. And you're on the ash heap of history. You're on the ash heap of history, except when any future teachers want to show students what a gutless, crooked politician looks like, a gutless wonder. So anyway, Trump was putting up a bunch of stuff. Somebody was having fun with AI in the White House. And he's just driving liberal nuts. They can't get a break. They can't buy a break. And they worry every minute what Trump's going to put up next. And I'm trying to find the one he put up about Newsom. But here's the post somebody put up. Right here. If anybody wants to put this on their meta page, it's small enough for you to get a screenshot. And I'll put it up bigger where I can read it easily. But there you have 4 representatives of Congress. What does it say? It says, Lucky McGee put this up. Donald Trump reposted this now. Fun fact of the day. These 4 Republicans, Byron Donalds, Florida, Wesley Hunt, Texas, John James, Missouri, and Burgess Owens of Utah, represent majority white congressional districts, and not one of them was allowed to join the Black Congressional Caucus. Are they not black enough? I'm starting to think the Democrats are being very disingenuous about all this talk of black people being unable to be elected or represented and the black vote being repressed and the Jim Crow era 2.0 BS. Yeah. Why did you exclude them? They don't have a low IQ, so you can't get in that club. If you got a high IQ, you're not allowed. I think that's what it is. I don't think it's racial tests. I think it's corruption tests and IQ tests. So their narrative is just crumbling. One proof Trump put up that I said, oh boy. I got this was yesterday. You see it there, Donald Trump at the top, see? It was the calm before the storm. Huh? And there you see an admiral behind him. Remember, it was Admiral Rogers that gave Trump the heads up back when Obama was spying on him on Trump Tower, and Trump packed up his transition team that night. Where did they go? To the compound in Jersey, right? You never seen that place get raided, and you never will. Right? But anyway, what's the meaning of the words, it was the calm before the storm? Is that kind of like it was the night before Christmas? And all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. No. Or is it was the calm before the storm? Does that say the storm is coming imminently? What do you think, Flannel Cheese? Nice to see you. I hope you gave me a thumbs up. Ha, ha, ha. And if you're not subscribed, anybody out there, why not? Go ahead and do it. Hit the notification bell so you'll know when I go live, and make some friends in the chat. And if you are, struggling with this stuff, you have been hearing for years things about Trump that make you subconsciously recoil when you see him. But you're starting to think outside the box. Talk to me. I'd be happy to talk to you. I'd be happy to address whatever it is that you feel is keeping you from getting on board with what's happening. because something's going to happen. Alert, alert. We got a Fox News alert from Jesse Waters. We're going to jump around from the military front to the domestic front, criminality to the fraud front, to the conspiracy front, to the operations that are happening in Nigeria. What's going to happen to Iran? Cuba's asking for it. We're going to go back and forth through all that stuff. It's a part of history. It's a part of things that we're witnessing that so few people even thought was impossible, thought was impossible. Generations have gone by. Why? Were we chosen really for a reason? I believe so. But anyway, here we go. Fox News alert, alert.
The New York Times is reporting our military is preparing for another round of attacks, this time more aggressive. The attacks can come as early as Monday. Additional Iranian military targets are on the table. That includes infrastructure. The president's still reportedly considering a special operations raid to pull out the nuclear dust and possibly a ground assault on Karg Island.
We hit Karg Island, everything but the oil. We left that one little thing. I say, stay 50 yards away. And I said to General Raisin Kane, I said, General, how long will it take? He said, 4 or 5 minutes. I said, no, seriously, how long? I figured he'd say a day or 2 days, a week. He said, no, only 4 or 5 minutes. They wiped out the whole island, except they left the nozzle. You know, that's where the oil comes out, just in case.
The United States has used the ceasefire to rearm our warships and attack planes. We have more than 50,000 troops, 2 aircraft carriers, dozens of destroyers, and scores of warplanes on standby. This includes 5,000 Marines and 2,000 paratroopers from the 82nd. Bridge and Power Plant Day could be next week.
Did you underestimate the pain tolerance that Iran has?
I didn't underestimate anything. We hit them unbelievably hard. Look, we left their bridges. We left their electricity capacity. We can knock that all out in 2 days. 2 days, everything.
Even with all the firepower back home, the press still thinks we're losing.
You should be ashamed of yourself. I actually think it's treason. When you write like they're doing well militarily and they have no Navy, no Air Force, no anti-anything. By the way, we knocked out 85% of their manufacturing for missiles. I had a total military victory, but the fake news, guys like you, write incorrectly. You're a fake guy, and guys like you, I actually think it's sort of treasonous what you write, but you and the New York Times and CNN, I would say, are the worst.
We're winning the war, but the Iranians are very slippery. They like to stall and play games, but in the end, they don't have a lot of options. Make a deal or good night. Trump wants to wrap this thing up just like everybody else.
Americans want to know when it's over, though, right?
Yeah, look, Vietnam lasted 19 years. Iraq was like 10 years. Korea was 7 years. Another one was 14 years. Another one was 12 years. Another one was 9 years. We're in there for 2.5 months.
2 months. 2 more months. He's giving a little hint. So Karg Island is on the menu. And here's another post that Trump put out. Because we're not just worried about Iran. This is our hemisphere. That's from the White House. It's our hemisphere. The return of the Monroe Doctrine. I have been talking about that for a number of years. 2 years at least. And I believe I mentioned it when I first launched my channel a half a decade ago. Hi, Stanton. How you doing? Nice to see you. Oh, I keep forgetting. I put a link in the chats at the 16-minute mark. I should have waited till the 17-minute mark. For Buy Me a Coffee. If anybody wants to help the channel out. It is a totally viewer-supported channel. I went ahead and got a copy of this picture. I don't want to erase it. One's in jail, prison. I was going to use this for a thumbnail until my 0017 picture came up. In prison, and the other one gone. Did you know the Ayatollah, the one we're looking at right now, he didn't have a left arm? He lost his arm during an assassination attempt like 20 years ago. But anyway, doesn't matter now. Yeah, so all these people have been warned very publicly, okay? And they all have a chance to get the hell out and go somewhere, including this, we're talking domestic and foreign. So you got a chance. Put an egg in your shoe and beat it, okay? Sad. Ilhan Omar tells brother, it's time they start seeing other siblings. Cut a deal where you surrender your assets and get your assets out of here. What's left of them? Don't forget, too, with these judges. Judge Hannah Dugan got convicted. Her sentencing is coming up. They call her Backdoor Dugan. And remember about this one here. I showed a video of her. Him, her, whatever. Remember, was arrested for putting an attorney in handcuffs and put him in the jury box? Well, one thing that they're working on, and they've agreed to, she can never, ever be a judge ever again. Okay? And she'll probably get some kind of probation or whatever, house arrest for a little while. But no, they're getting weeded out. Judges are not immune. Judges are not immune. There's other cases going on about other judges that we don't hear about all the time. So here's somebody trying to lay some groundwork. I didn't watch this video. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to hear what the hell he has to say. But this is NBC, another part of the disinformation campaign. The illegal psychological warfare campaign, NBC. James Comey urges Todd Blanche to, quote, bone up on legal rules. Oh, he's talking like a man who has a judge or two or four in his back pocket, right? That's what it sounds like to me. So we're going to keep a sharp eye on that for sure. But he's going to be tried outside of the Magic Kingdom. Maria Bartiromo, speaking of Todd Blanche, Maria Bartiromo did an interview with him. Where is it? Asking him flat out about the elections. And among other things, Comey, conspiracy, and he's the person in charge. I want to preface this. I didn't finish the thought one time about Pam Bondi. And I was kind of scolding people. Don't be rough on Pam Bondi. Don't call Pam Bondi a traitor. Don't say, oh, she's part of the cabal and all. The deep state invested a lot of time, resources, money, people on the ground, a lot of internet searches, all I'm sure being documented with the new algorithms and the new artificial intelligence, AI. Right when they're getting ready to pull one of their numbers, okay, where they do smear campaign, where they put out information, or they threaten a loved one, or they pull any of a number of stunts that happens when you're involved in irregular warfare. They got her in a target and they're getting ready to pull the trigger. Change of batter. Just like that. Change of batter. And they put in Todd Blanche. Within a week, while she is still serving, we get these indictments, we get these investigations, we get these subpoenas, we get Joe Genova on board. That didn't just happen overnight. That was groundwork by Pam Bondi, and they removed her as a target. And now they got to start all over again with Todd Blanche. I'm just saying, see how they work? And it's moves and counter moves, folks. Change your batter. Here he is.
So we just laid out the last 10 years. You heard the former chairman of the Intelligence Committee saying that there has been a conspiracy over 10 years. What have you done about it?
Well, look, that's exactly what we're investigating right now. And by the way, what is not in dispute is that the whole Russia hoax, there was absolutely nothing to it. And so the question that the American people have to ask is, well, then why did they do it? Why did Comey say what he said? Why did the outgoing Obama administration do what they did? And that's what we're studying right now, because it did great damage to this country. It did great damage to President Trump's first term. And we want to understand why that happened, why there continued to be an effort by operatives in the government to go after President Trump while he was in office, and then, of course, over the past several years as well.
Do you believe it was a conspiracy against President Trump?
I mean, that's what we're looking at. And do you believe it? I mean, look at what happened. I mean, here there's no evidence of any Russia collusion at all. And yet there was a special counsel appointed, 2 years, the president's family, his entire administration was investigated. There was zero evidence of any Russia collusion. Right. That cannot happen. And so it should never happen in this country. And so we're going to get to the bottom of it.
Oh, I understand that. And we all know, this audience is well aware of it. We were among the first to say this doesn't smell right, this doesn't look right, we don't think it's true. I had Devin Nunes on and John Ratcliffe on virtually every week back in 2017 and 2018 saying just that, all of their findings. I'd like to know why it's taking so long. I mean, has the statute of limitations run up? Do you have no more wiggle room in terms of zeroing in on things like the Mueller report, the Nunes report, and all the evidence that was clear that they knew that there was no Russia collusion?
Look, I don't know that the statute has run out. I don't think so. Because what you saw a continued effort all the way up until very recently, up until the raid of Mar-a-Lago just a couple of years ago, a continued.
I'm interrupting because statute of limitations, keep it all in the back of your mind, folks. Any action they take to continue the crime or cover it up in any way restarts the clock from the time they reoffend. So anyway, he's going to bring that up.
Effort to destroy President Trump, and whether that's one conspiracy that continued from 2015, 2016, all the way up to 2023 is what we're looking at right now. But the way that we do that is with the grand jury process. So it's calling witnesses, it's looking at documents, it's having prosecutors study, it's having the FBI look at it and investigate what happened, and we're finding out some incredibly troubling things, and at some point at the right time that will be made public, and the American people will see exactly what happened to this administration and President Trump over the past decade.
Well, I mean, the country was ripped apart. We all know that. Half of the country said he colluded with Russia. The other half said, no, it didn't. I mean, it ripped the country apart. But you say when the time is right. When is the time right? When should we expect these charges of conspiracy?
Well, I mean, look, as has been publicly reported, the Southern District of Florida has an open criminal investigation. That involves hundreds of subpoenas. It involves hundreds of witnesses. And so as far as timing and when we can expect it, we are working hard and we are working efficiently, but we are going to do it right. We are not going to rush something that isn't ready. We're not going to reach a conclusion before our investigation is over. But I assure you, and I assure the American people, that we are completely focused on it.
Okay. Well, I don't know what is not ready. I mean, we've been watching this play out for a long time, and viewers and people watching are frustrated because it just keeps happening. Weaponization keeps happening because it's not corrected the time before. Now, there are charges against Comey right now, threatening the president, transmitting a threat across state lines because of that Instagram post 8647. I mean, is that real, or is that a placeholder, or what exactly is the charge? Because he's saying this has no merit.
Well, I mean, he's entitled to say whatever he wants. What the facts show is that a grand jury, this isn't a D.C. grand jury. This isn't Todd Blanche, former President Trump, personal attorney bringing charges. These are line prosecutors, career prosecutors in North Carolina who investigated what happened, investigated this case for nearly a year, and a grand jury returned an indictment. There is nothing more serious in this country, as we've seen repeatedly over the past several years, than threatening President Trump. He has been, on multiple occasions, 3 occasions at least, someone has tried to kill him, okay? So we have to take these threats seriously, and obviously Comey's entitled to his day in court. He is a defendant. He's charged in an indictment out of North Carolina, and those charges are very serious.
Well, obviously, when you see someone like Jim Comey, who was the head of the FBI, write out 8647 on the street, I mean, on the beach, rather, someone who might be mentally challenged is going to use that and say, well, let me go do what Comey just told me to do. But I've got to move on, because recently Susie Wiles, the president's chief of staff, made an interesting comment.
Mentally challenged. That's what MK Ultra does, okay? And when you integrate MK Ultra into the regular news, air quotes, regular news, it causes brain damage, emotional disturbance. So you end up with 30% of the population that are mentally challenged, okay? It's called TDS. But anyway, here's talking about Susie Wiles.
That a lot of our audience was perked up about. And here's what she said. Watch this.
We had a lovely dinner, and at the end of it, he wanted to know why he won Florida, but maybe struggled in some other states that I think we're going to find out he actually did win. But I wrote like an after-action report, gave it to him to read.
So she just said that we're going to find out that President Trump actually did win certain states in the 2020 election. Now, the president says all the time that the election was rigged. What have you done about that? Do you have any evidence?
Now, hold on. We're getting into whether the election was rigged. Welcome aboard, Nicholas. I see you dropping in to throw a rock at Pam Bondi. Let me ask you this question. You're saying Attorney General was in Florida when Epstein got his ankle monitor, and you think that's okay? Well, you think a local district attorney 10 years ago or 8 years ago or whatever it was could stand up to the deep state alone? Of course she had to. She was Attorney General in Florida. This was handled on a federal level, that plea deal. And I showed where Trump fired the attorney that was responsible for that plea deal at a federal level. He was intimidated by the CIA, and he did a press conference with Trump when he was resigning as labor secretary. And he said that the intelligence agency leaned on him to protect Epstein. So don't sit here and say, and I'm just telling you because you represent a lot of people that don't have their heads screwed on right. You're going to tell me a little state attorney general is going to stand up to the CIA when Donald Trump wasn't in office, when the deep state had control of everything? Or what do? You go with the flow because you have to, and you gather evidence for the day that is coming, the day that is here right now. That's the difference between somebody who just wants to fight and somebody who's a warrior. Somebody who understands the warrior ethos and somebody who knows about fifth generational warfare and infiltration, not invasion.
That the election was rigged. What can you tell us?
Well, there's a ton of evidence that the election was rigged. That's not something the DOJ needs to tell you about. There's been evidence about that for many, many years. What I can tell you is that we have multiple investigations going on in Arizona, in Georgia, in Fulton County, Georgia, and that's exactly what we're looking at. By the way, this is very difficult because they're very good. They're very good at hiding up misconduct and hiding what they're doing, and so that's why we're very focused on finding out whether the right people voted, whether people who were supposed to vote voted, whether there was one vote cast per voter, and that's what we're doing in multiple states. And I expect, and again, people, you'll say to me, how long has it taken? Why is it taking so long? And the reality, the answer to that is because it takes a lot of work to uncover what happened in 2020. It takes a lot of old, good old-fashioned law enforcement police work, which is what we're doing, and we have great prosecutors working on it as well. And I expect that, and I assure the American people that as soon as we have something to say for it, whether it's charges, whether it's a report, whether it's the results of an investigation, the American people will learn about what we've uncovered.
Yeah, so in other words, what you're saying is that you have, in fact, seen evidence that people voted who should not have voted, whether it be through mail-in ballots, ballots coming from empty parking lots or dead people, whatever, or from illegals. Is that what you're suggesting?
Maria, during the Biden administration, they didn't charge a single individual with illegally voting. Just last year, we charged dozens, and we're investigating a ton more. And so that's exactly what I'm saying. We know that there were people who voted who were not eligible to vote. We've charged some of them. We've charged some of them in the past year. We're investigating a ton more right now. And so that's the tip of the iceberg of what we're doing. Okay. But yes, I can flat out say, because of that yes, that happened.
All right, so you believe there will be, at some point, a definitive answer to whether or not the 2020 election was stolen?
I'm not going to promise there's going to be a definitive answer. That wouldn't be fair to you or anybody else, but we are looking at it and we're hoping to get one.
Now, that last thing he just said, a lot of people are going to be disappointed. Oh, he's not promising proof of election being stolen. He said earlier in the interview, we're not going to predetermine, we're not going to prejudge. That is to forestall people from saying that they are working on foregone conclusions and treating people unfairly. He's saying we're going to do what the evidence tells us to do. But deep down, you better believe that he knows it was stolen. Let me give you an example. When it's time to strike, when it's time to get on your high horse, and when it's time to stay on the ground. This is a little saying from Kennedy here.
So what happened in Louisiana last night?
Well, Peter, here's the way I see it. Unless you're God's perfect idiot, the result was predictable. Ground control to Major Tom. The polls have shown for well over a year that Senator Cassidy was in trouble. I think the president's endorsement of Congresswoman Letlow was sort of the icing on the cake. Bill knew that, but he decided to run anyway. I respect that. I thank him for his service. He was very gracious in his concession speech. We now got a runoff between two fine people. For what it's worth, I don't plan to get involved. A wise man once said nothing. Why? Because he's a wise man. But I don't plan on weighing in, and if one of them starts talking about my mama, I might, but otherwise I'm just going to vote like everybody else.
A wise man said nothing. Why? Because he was a wise man. There's times to act and times to be coy, times to be quiet and listen, and then times to run your yap. But everybody said, oh, if I was in that job, I'd arrest this person, I'd arrest that person, I'd do this, I'd do that. Well, people be looking for your neck, okay? It's public perception. That's what our whole society runs on. So, Miss Mendersu, how are you? See, Roland's here too. Miss Mendersu's making dinner. Is it cinnamon rolls or cornbread tonight? I'm asking for Roland. Boom. But anyway, yeah, don't prejudge people. Don't throw rocks. I mean, this is been going on for years. let me see if this is the one quote from Clandestine. I got a couple of quotes from, let me see. There needs to be a Call of Duty type video game dedicated to all the badass missions in the Trump administration. Midnight Hammer Strike on Iran, Maduro arrest in Venezuela, Epic Fury in Iran, mission in Nigeria, potential mission to secure uranium would be epic. What a video game that would be. And you could add to that Cuba coming up. And who knows what else is going on behind the scenes that we're going to find out about. Yeah. Somebody'd make millions off that. And when it, and include the drops from the 17th letter. Those are going to be coming out. Okay? And it's going to be proven that the mainstream media hid that information and willfully distorted what that site meant to help with their cover-up. Here you go, Donald Trump again, getting into the minds of people. California, and somebody is having fun with the AI. There you go, Newsom, the Golden State. There's your license plate. Do you think they'll prove that? They'll approve that. Now, I know, this is off topic, but it's a sign of things coming good, right? Hi, Flannel Cheese, how you doing? Nice to see you. Here's a sign of things. You all remember, folks, the smell of a Pizza Hut, the video games that kids could play while you're waiting for your pizza, the red plastic cups where you could have yourself a cold beer. They look like cranberry-colored translucent cups. Pizza Hut returns to classic retro restaurant style as classic locations open up across the U.S. You see them places, they were shutting down right and left. I saw one turn into a 7-Eleven, had a Pizza Hut roof. What the hell? No, it's all Domino's. It's all... Now they're coming back. Having red cups, stained glass lights, a jukebox, as well as a salad bar. We're going retro, baby. We're going retro. A civilizational change. That's what we need. Speaking of AI, now I want to play a video that Trump put out, and you all are my witness. My last couple of broadcasts, what did I start it off with? The Trump team put this out on Donald Trump's TikTok right here. This TikTok. How many times y'all see me play this video on my intro? Except in mine, his eyes light up red. How many times I played it? Half a dozen? Well, when was that on his TikTok yesterday and today?
I was the hunted, and now I'm the hunter.
"17 seconds long. 17 seconds long on TikTok. I was the hunted. Now I'm the hunter." He also, let me find it. What have I been playing on my videos at the beginning? Let me see. He put it up with a couple of different AI action scenes. Let me find it. And I've been playing that video. Come on now. I got so many things. I must have 100 things in here. I come across it. You all have to be my witness that I was playing that little quick clip a number of times. Holy cow. Anyway, here's some more stuff from Trump. Let me get some of the stuff out of the studio. It won't be so cluttered. Trump put up another iteration of bye-bye fast boats yesterday and today. He had different iterations of blown up fast boats. So that's coming. Here, what's this one? Another AI picture. Oh, reminding people that there's other places to buy oil. We're going to be selling oil. We got oil out the yin yang, as Tim Walsh would say. Empty tankers are sailing to the U.S. to load up on oil. What's Iran and all these other countries going to have to realize? That there's competition in life, that you got to be nice to your customers. Would you go to a place to buy oil if you thought your ship might get blown up? Or that you get extorted for millions of dollars? Or that in the future, the people that are collecting that money are going to set off nuclear bombs in the near future? Or would you go somewhere that's nice, cleaner oil at a better price? Competition. You have to act normal, likable. Here's another AI picture Trump happened to like, and he put it up. Space Force. And apparently they got a picture of him walking with sunglasses, pointing a finger, because they also put it on this one. Here, I'll put it side by side. So somebody was making little AI pictures that Trump happened to like and was popping them up on Truth Social. And he also, oh yeah, he was picking on Newsom some more right here. This is a reposting. He put this up before, but he put it up again after the license plate for Newsom with the ego. His head's so big, it's what I say in the past, it's bigger than a beach ball. You can't get him through the door in a room. His head's swelled up so big. So you know it drives him nuts when Trump puts up stuff like that. This one here. Obama. Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? Jim Crow 2.0. And democracy up in the Northeast where they have got a headlock. No Republican representatives at all. 0 in over 9 states. So anyway, I want to find the one that... Oh, here it is. Now you guys are my witness. You're my witness. There it is. You see Donald Trump, right? He posted this today. You see down there in the corner, that picture of him sitting on a desk? Didn't you see old Mountain Man play that last couple of videos all through last week? Ha ha ha.
Okay, we have it in our sight. Fire. Boom. Okay, we have it in our sight. Fire. Boom.
That's what I was playing last week. You guys are my witness. Those of you who have been watching, paying attention, which is most of everyone in the chat, I would say. Yeah, Todd, I was going to bring that up. How we're buying junk from China, and people forget about Nana's refrigerator, Frigidaire, right? The Frigidaire, whether it was avocado green or dark brown, been sitting in Nana's kitchen since 1972, and it's still running. Still running. And look at the junk we're getting today. Every 3 years, I got to go spend $2,000 on a riding mower. Because the engine parts are made out of plastic. If you had a 65 Cub Cadet, you'd still be running it today. So we got to change all that. We got to make durable products in America. Here, this bonehead, he was warned. Who's next? Who's next? Head of terror group. Is Al-Din Haddad, head of terror group inside Hamas in Gaza and one of the architects of the October 7th massacre, has been eliminated, along with that character in Nigeria. I was going to find a picture of him. I don't even want to know what he looks like. He's on the ash heap of history. The ash heap of history. Here we go for Newsom again. Yeah, this is a good one. Get a screenshot of this. Trump leads a SEAL team to capture rogue dictator Gavin Newsom. There you see Donald Trump leading the team. We're getting some reminders. This was yesterday. Reminders. Donald Trump's not letting anybody off the hook. Nobody gets to sit back on a weekend and have a clear-headed mind. All right? You're being put out in front of millions of people, Jack Smith. Arctic Frost Redux. FBI, Jack Smith, secretly preserved J6 evidence until after Trump leaves office. Jack Smith's team primed their criminal case against Donald Trump to resume once his presidency ends. And then they also destroyed evidence. They think they did, right? They think they destroyed it. Here's a video Trump posted, and he reposted somebody who commented on it. At Real Donald Trump posted, Mary Margaret Olohan, Mainers ruthlessly boo News Center Maine's, whatever the hell that says. As he asked VP Vance, what else do you got? What else has your task force flagged that we should be concerned about? Because those fraudulent amounts are a lot. 46 million, 1.7 million, but they really don't compare to California, Minnesota. What else should we expect from your task force? We got biased reporters in all states. It's okay, trust me, jokes Vance. As the crowd continues to boo loudly, I can handle it. Here he is. What kind of question is that? You're talking about almost $50 million. Is that all you got? You're not doing a good job. Well, the Democrats didn't dig up nothing. As a matter of fact, they were hiding it.
Yeah, we'll do one more question, then we'll hit the road.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, for taking questions. I'm Phil Hirschkorn from News Center, Maine. So it turns out that Maine does have a Medicare fraud control unit. You mentioned that a few minutes ago. I'm wondering, you said Maine could be the third worst state after states like California and Minnesota, which have proven tens of millions, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars in fraud and many federal convictions. So far, what we've heard about from the federal government in Maine is questionable $45 million in the autism services, which you mentioned. We've also heard about $1.7 million in questionable billing by a Somali immigrant-run NGO. My question is...
Look at the crowd's face in the back, all the people in the background. And it's about time we got some signs that were all nice, clean, brand new uniform signs protecting taxpayer, right? Dollars. And look at the looks on their faces listening to this creep. Like it said, they won't be able to walk down the street. That includes the press.
Guys, what else? It's all right. Now, I appreciate you all standing up for me, but trust me,
we still have innocent until proven guilty in this country. My question is, what else do you got? What else has your task force flagged that we should be concerned about? Because those amounts are a lot, 46 million, 1.7 million, but they don't really compare to California and Minnesota. What else should we expect from your task force? Thank you.
Let me say a few things. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've got biased reporters in all states. It's okay, trust me. I can handle it. But here's what I'd say. A few things. Number one, you talk about the scale of the fraud being less in Maine than it is in California. Well, California has a population that's much higher than Maine, so that's not necessarily a fair comparison. Number two, we've frankly been at this less long than we have in Maine than in other states. Okay, this is something where I would say, you notice a pattern, and you're right, innocent until proven guilty. But what I've noticed is a pattern that when you see certain types of fraud and certain types of programs, that's the tip of the iceberg. And when I see that autism services fraud in the Medicaid program in the Somali community, but not just that, I see local and state politicians who don't care about policing that fraud. That's the tip of the iceberg. And we're going to find out just how deep that iceberg is. And I suspect, I can't promise, but I suspect we are going to find hundreds of millions of more dollars every single month that we look in the state of Maine, because this is not a state that takes it seriously. And this is the third point and the most important one. I do not actually like having a contentious relationship between the state government and the federal government. We want people to help us find the fraudsters. It goes a lot quicker. It's a lot easier. It requires fewer resources from the federal government, but you find more fraud when you're working with people at the local level. What I find so preposterous about Maine, it's not just that we found tens of millions of dollars of fraud in a relatively small state. It's that we've had no cooperation from the state government. So when I say that the state government, when I say this is the third, maybe the fourth worst state when it comes to fraud, what I mean very simply is that you've got a governor and you've got a set of bureaucrats that don't care about fraud. And all I'm saying is Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance, we care about fraud. We care about the people of this state, and we care about your tax dollars going to where it's actually supposed to go.
There you go. There you go. And it's not a question. It's a talking point in the form of a question, Poker. It's true. It's true. They got to get their talking points in, and they try to do it in the form of a question. Ridiculous. But keep in mind what he's saying. We have states that don't want to help. Okay? We have states that don't want to help. That should trigger in your mind CIGI. Remember that, folks? The Council of Inspector Generals Institute, or whatever the hell they call it, all the inspector generals, the suspicion is, are engaged in this fraudulent conspiracy, because inspector generals are supposed to catch fraud, waste, and abuse. Waste, fraud, and abuse. Where have they been in all of these states? They can't all be asleep at the switch just because they're stupid. Is this a coordinated effort? And is CG involved? The inspector generals. One nation under fraud, Trump administration uncovers mass welfare, citizenship abuses. And, these are small states. It's going to get to bigger states. There's so many people who are not sleeping good. So many people on the list that are going to go down. Forget about her? Oh, who's the Donald Trump posted this? Judicial Watch files lawsuit seeking records on $2 billion grant to nonprofit linked to Stacey Abrams. $2 billion. When are the birds going to sing? That's going to be one big bird they're singing. She actually thought she was going to get the vice presidency. And blasts from the past, right? We're going to be seeing blasts from the past. Remember when Jim Jordan was having all those hearings over the years? Here he is. Now he's in position of power. House Judiciary Chairman urges DOJ to permanently dismiss all Trump cases after bombshell report. They were fraudulently done through lawfare. Lawfare. A knowing misrepresentation of what the law says. Participating in illegal psychological warfare campaign and inciting public hostility against the sovereign. The judges were involved. The attorneys were involved. And all those cases are going to get thrown out. and they can piss and moan till the cows come home. Oh, wait a minute. Here's another thing Donald Trump put up. How was your weekend, John Brennan? How was your weekend, Barack Hussein Obama? Have you heard of him? Having a nice weekend? John Brennan is a traitor. This is reposted by Trump. The skiff. And his involvement in the coup against Trump never ended. And if current high-level officials are trying to cover up this conspiracy against President Trump, then the statute of limitations should not apply or be reset. Well, that's the law. It doesn't. They get reset. This act of sedition and treason are at the highest levels of government. Brennan and the ones still in government must be identified, stripped of their positions, and charged. It's time to flush out these traitors. The mainstream media hasn't given this post boo. They haven't reported on it all. If any Democrat was saying this about Republicans, it would be on blast all weekend and through the week, just like CNN kept repeating over and over and over again the word S-H-I-T, hole, which was being played in Burger Kings and airports and all these captured public places where CNN used to broadcast over and over and over again. Trump said these countries were shitholes over and over and over. 11 o'clock in the morning with families eating in the Burger King. TVs hanging on the wall, repeating it over and over again. Now Trump comes out with conspiracy and treason at the highest levels of government, and they don't say a peep.
I would like to hear what your justification was for supporting the dossier that was known to be false being used as source material in the second ICA.
I don't know who put you up to this.
Nobody put me up to this, sir. I'm here on my own.
I don't know what role you played or who you are, but it's a bunch of bullshit you just passed on.
Absolutely. The emails are clear, sir.
Bullshit.
The emails are clear. The emails are clear. The second question.
No, I think we're going to.
We are getting reports from Reuters that there were FBI agents who were questioning people at Langley about Brennan's assertions to me in Congress that the CIA had nothing to do with the inclusion of the Steele dossier in the Intelligence Committee assessment. What do you think are the key components of John Brennan's tenure that these agents ought to be looking into and that would contribute to broader reforms within the CIA?
Oh, I think the most important thing is this notion of weaponization. Weaponization is real. Weaponization has been used against many Americans simply because John Brennan or Barack Obama and John Brennan didn't like a person's personal politics. You and I have had this conversation. I think we both agree that the fact that John Brennan refuses to take...
This is John Kirkow. He is a former CIA agent. I was going to do a little talk about him. He's not a bad person. He's got some issues, though. He's soft pedaling right now. They did it against Trump because they didn't like his personal politics. Well, at least he's pointing out they did something illegal. It wasn't about his personal politics. They're operating for foreign interests. They're operating for entities that want to destroy our Constitution. And if it wasn't Trump, if it was another person that was going to try to drain the swamp, they would be attacking him too. It's not about Trump. It's about destroying America. And John Kirkow doesn't get that. But he at least is pointing out that they behaved illegally.
To take responsibility for his actions legally would allow for the basis of a conspiracy charge, in that if the conspiracy is ongoing, if the conspiracy to cover up his actions as the director of Central Intelligence is ongoing, that ought to reset the statute of limitations literally every single day. And so I think that there's a real conspiracy case here. I'm very happy that a grand jury is looking into it in the Southern District of Florida. And I hope something positive comes out of it. Positive in the respect that the American people can see that it doesn't matter how senior you are in government, it doesn't matter how important you think you are in Washington, you have to face justice just like everybody else does.
There was an email that went around from General Clapper to yourself and Hayden. I'm sorry, not Hayden.
That's right.
Yourself and Comey, etc., that basically said we all got to get on board with this, otherwise it isn't going to work, basically. And I think that email puts everybody in the crosshairs. I would like to hear what your justification was for supporting the dossier that was known to be false being used as source material in the second ICA.
I don't know who put you up to this.
Nobody put me up to this, sir. I'm here on my own.
I don't know what role you played or who you are, but it's a bunch of bullshit you just passed on.
The emails are clear, sir. The emails are clear. The emails are clear. The second question.
No, I think we're going to go.
Next.
Look, we can talk about it. Talk about it in the reception.
Russian disinformation.
No, we didn't say that. Get your facts straight.
You said it was likely Russian disinformation.
No, we did not. We said
yes,
it.
you did.
No.
In that memo,
read the letter. I'm ignoring. Okay.
And I know I'm going to get uninvited.
Yeah.
To the after hours.
No, you're done. Come on. All right, we're going to go over here.
This is disinformation.
Let's go over here for a question.
Good
evening. Thank you very much.
Why didn't you know on the Hunter Biden letters? Why? Because I think, and you misrepresented that. We never said it was disinformation. We said it was Russian influence operations, which is what they do. There's a big difference between influence operations. No, you don't know that. Yes, Comey knew. Comey knew.
The literature said it had all the hallmarks of.
We didn't say it was Russian disinformation. We said it had all the hallmarks of Russian disinformation, knowing full well that the media would then fire hose that around and then change that to basically say, yeah, it's Russian disinformation. And when they did that, at any point did you stand up and say, well, actually, I didn't say it was Russian disinformation. I said it has all the hallmarks. Nope, you were quiet. You were complicit in the lie being spread.
Treason. He's red-handed, caught red-handed, and the media doesn't say a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Here's something else Trump put up. Greg Gutfeld down here. Let's see. Whoa, this is a long one. Let's see. I don't know if I'll play it. I got to play it. Just now, Greg Gutfeld drops the mic on Jessica Tarloff's rage. They are going crazy. I should do a montage if I was one of these Sharpies on the internet pulling up where James Carville's cussing and screaming and wanting to take people on the street and shave their heads and spit on them and march them down the street. Listen to me, Trump, you fat mother, blah, blah, blah. And George Conway crying, and now this House of Representative chicken eater crying. They're all crying. They don't know what to do. Tarlov peddling a lie. Trump made $3 billion in a year. Gutfeld, I know this is going to blow your mind. He was a billionaire and a businessman before he was president, unlike Obama. A Democrat gets into power and gets rich. Trump was rich before he got there, and he's actually making less money. Ha ha ha. What's it say here? So your obsession over his profiting is delusional. Yeah, point them out for the idiots that they are. So if somebody wins the presidency, they have to take all their wealth and give it to the government for the rest of their lives. They have to give up their homes, give up their businesses, and just do what? Go on book tours like Obama? No, he got $120 million from COVID money, didn't he? Or something like that. I don't know. We're going to get to the bottom of it. But anyway, here's Gutfeld.
You talk about Donald Trump. He made $3 billion last year. He moved up 118.
He made less money this year than he did when he was out of office.
He's the president. You're supposed to have
Not make any money?
$400,000.
Jessica, I know this is going to blow your mind. He was a billionaire and a businessman before he was president,
so he should continue
unlike Obama.
to sell us out to people he's the highest bidder. There is a for sale sign on the White House. The crypto scams.
Wait, no, but this is
part of it. When you hear that
away from part of what the vice president was talking about yesterday, which was we can work with states. Let's try to work with Democrats and governors and whatever to try to go after this because everybody agrees there is fraud within the system that would save everybody money if you. So I think we need to talk about that.
I'm cool with that. I said that. I said Tim Walz was in trouble for this. You should weed out the fraud. But we just saw that Donald Trump in Q1 made at least $220 million of purchases in stocks. Paramount, Netflix, Warner Brothers, Palantir.
So did I. Everyone's buying those stocks.
But you're talking.
He should not be able to do that. You want to talk about Nancy Pelosi's Talenti gelato drawer?
Okay,
and
but
you don't care what's going on here?
I think it's important to point out also that they cannot get this stuff passed on Capitol Hill. People show
Shannon,
up to
it's
Capitol
done.
Hill.
He just said, "Oh, that's a good point."
No, that's not what I said. I said I like your glasses.
You did not.
They
are great
beautiful glasses.
They were my
Glasses are great,
dad's.
but also can we talk about the fact that Capitol Hill cannot get it together on insider stock trading and all that kind of stuff? So many of them show up
he's
there.
the first president
they
to
show
do
up
this.
there and they're thousandaires and they leave as millionaires in a way on a salary that doesn't make a lot of sense. So and I'm talking
$3 billion in a year.
You think I could? You don't even have to ask me a question. Okay.
Oh, great.
First things first. A Democrat gets into power and then gets rich. Trump was rich before he got there, and he's actually making less money. So your obsession over his profiting is a delusion. It's what you hear. First you say, here's how they're profiting. Then you switch to his foreign policy priority, where he's saying Iran is more important right now than the gas prices. That was your justification. Then you move back. It was so convoluted. Look, libs have obsessions over things like ballrooms when taxpayers aren't paying for it. Meanwhile, as Jesse points out, and I got to make this clear because this is going to come back, there is a pattern of abuse. And it is relentless. You mentioned Minnesota, the California hospice scam. You have the ghost, what do you call them? The ghost company fraud in Ohio. But the one that is going to blow your mind and is the Jenga piece in all of this, the GAO reports, $3 trillion in improper payments. $3 trillion since 2003 because of weak controls over entitlement programs, Medicaid and Medicare. Now you know why they circle their wagons. Whenever you approach and you say, you know what, can we look at this? They call you a fascist. You're trying to starve people. You're trying to take money out of their health care. No. They're protecting their profit. It's not about people. You know, Republicans have to go hard on these issues because these are the issues they won on, and it's not finished by a long shot. You look how the Democrats lied about the border, trans, obviously fraud, crime, and President Biden. The horrible results of far-left policies can be ads in and of themselves. Dead women, exploited kids, perverse dogma, billions in taxpayer fraud, government waste, insane taxes, driving businesses out of blue states. The point that I'm trying to make is that we just overturned the rock, and watch how they're reacting. We overturned the rock. Let us finish the job. We gotta we gotta clean that rock, or the rot is gonna return and you're all gonna be screwed.
And honestly, this could be bipartisan. It could be because
enough of the bipartisan.
American people.
Have you been around Democrats enough?
I have, Jessica, and we.
I would have asked her, where does she get those notes she's reading? You see her checking her notes, her talking points notes. Where do you get those talking points? Are they 4 a.m. talking points? And I'm waiting for them when they bring up the ballroom. Trump's wasting all this money on the ballroom. Oh, okay, it's not taxpayer funded. But why do they sweep under the rug $1 billion for the Fed building, which should cost 10% of that? Why do they hide that? Why are the courts blocking investigations and allowing that corruption to go on? And they pivot Well, look at Trump, a mean, greedy billionaire. Crazy. Trump's going to be saving us trillions of dollars because that's the way he rolls. No games. Watch what's next on your favorite subject. What does he mean, favorite subject? Here's what Clandestine had to say about it. Trump highlights the recent mission in Nigeria and says, watch what happens on your favorite subject. I'm not exactly sure what he's referring to, but my guess is Iran. Perhaps a threat to Iranian leadership that something similar is about to happen to them. We shall see. Well, my favorite subject is destroying the deep state. Iran is a cherry on top. Okay? My favorite subject is getting rid of these traitors. And so I think that's what Trump's telling us. But anyway, tonight at my direction, brave American forces and the armed forces of Nigeria flawlessly executed a meticulously planned and very complex mission to eliminate the most active terrorist in the world from the battlefield, Abu Bilal al-Manuki, second in command of ISIS. He goes on to say, globally, though he could hide in Africa, thought he could hide in Africa, but little did he know, we had sources who kept us informed on what he was doing. He will no longer terrorize the people of Africa or help plan operations to target Americans. With his removal, ISIS's global operation is greatly diminished. Thank you to the government of Nigeria for your partnership in this operation. God bless America, Donald J. Trump. ISIS. Remember that video I used to play? It got memory hold when my videos got corrupted from afar. Somehow, they got into my system, corrupted all my videos. Who did Trump say created ISIS? Who did Trump say created ISIS? I'll find that video again and I'll play it again. My favorite subject is the person who helped create ISIS. POTUS heard about the cries from the Christians in Nigeria and acted to save many lives by eliminating the jihadist leader. This video was posted by Donald J. Trump. And here is the preacher himself, a Nigerian pastor. Oh, come on. Video play.
Look at it today. Is there any Muslim here? United Nations, I know you're watching it. American Senate, you are watching what I'm doing, I'm saying here. Special advisor to Trump. Now, please tell Trump to save our life in Nigeria. They are killing Christians in Nigeria. Massacre Christians. If they say they kill Muslims, Muslims are being killed. By who? By Muslims.
You see what's blurred out there, so you can't see it. What does the media do? We've seen them do it. Pose people with their hands outstretched, with a piece of rice on their cheek. Little kids, all of them gathered real close together with their hands out with empty bowls. The Palestinians are starving. And then you see them go, wait a minute, no, you all, now move here. Come here, kid. You get there and set these pictures up to promote from the river to the sea. What do they do with this kind of news that was happening and is happening? thousands of people being drug out of their homes. I showed satellite photos. I don't even know if I can describe them. Satellite photos showing stains on the streets in front of people's houses, where they, after they were drug out of their homes, you know what happened to them? It left stains on the streets visible from a satellite of Christians. And then they were buried just as you saw. And not a peep from the media. Not a peep. They are the enemy of the people. They have the power to ignore. I can't believe this. What is going on with Nick Shirley? Nick Shirley is in London now after his trip to Cuba. Is he a young man that is helping with this counterinsurgency psychological operation to help people see the truth? He's 23 years old. That's old enough to make decisions. That's old enough to be a directly appointed officer or an operative. An operative for the White Hats. Is that why he went to Cuba? Is that why he's in London now, risking arrest? Here's what he's got to deal with over there in London. Antifa, another terrorist organization on the same level, as far as I'm concerned, as ISIS. In London, referring to Tommy Robinson. Shoot him in the neck like Charlie Kirk. These are the types of animals we're dealing with. And that is where Nick Shirley is now, speaking before crowds in London. And Starmer, he's not giving up. But anyway, here they are.
Clip elsewhere.
So they've just said that they want to hang Tommy Robinson and shoot him in the neck like Charlie Kirk. It's getting very aggressive.
Yeah, this is brain damage, MK Ultra brain damage, Operation Mockingbird brain damage. Hi, Outlandish Patriots. How are you doing? Well, I talked before about Nathan Hale. Nathan Hale, 21 years old, he volunteered for George Washington to spy on the British, and he was caught. And he's credited with saying, I regret that I only have one life to give to my country. I did a video about him. 21 years old. He wrote a letter to his mother before his execution. And the colonel that was running the hanging came out and tore the letter up and threw it in his face, and then they hanged him. And we never recovered his body. Somewhere in Boston, he was hanged. And we never recovered his body. He's an early American hero. He was 21 years old and volunteered to be a spy. Like her or not, Laura Loomer is telling things like they are. After essentially trespassing where? Onto Capitol Hill, anti-Trump, pro-Hamas protesters moved onto the Capitol lawn. Oh my gosh, some people spent 2 years in jail over that or more. And started flying the Islamic Republic of Iran flag right in front of the Capitol dome. Earlier, the same group was chanting "Globalize the Intifada" and yelling at who? They yell at the wind, brain damaged. And some of them are foreign operatives operating on our soil. Whatever happened to Ray Fed Epps? I don't know.
Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine!
I never said Nick Shirley was a spy. I'm talking about volunteering for operations. When you're an operative, you do many things. Spying's one of them.
You guys know this one. Every single thing I say, you are going to respond with shut it down. Because not business as usual. I'm going to repeat, you guys go shut it down.
But you guys always just make things up about my outfit. It's pretty funny.
Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Hold them system! Shut it down! Hold them system! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! We will honor all our martyrs! We will honor all our martyrs! All the mothers, children, fathers! All our mothers, children, fathers! We will honor all our martyrs! We will honor all our martyrs! All the children, mothers, fathers! All the children, mothers!
I want to remind everybody that during the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln set gallows up in front of the Capitol building. Gallows. You know what they do with the gallows, right?
To the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! From the sea to the river! Palestine will be free!
Well, that's enough of that. Gallows. So Congress could see. So Congress could see what was going on. The ones that were remaining. So they would stay in line. Here we have, if you're an operative, you do a lot of things. You spread our message, okay? You can spread our message. You can be a spy, but you can disseminate information. You can pass messages. You can bring back messages. I can't show this video. Car mows down pedestrians in Modena, Italy. I wonder who did that. I wonder what the nationality was of that person. Here's some more lunatics in our nation's capital.
There's only one solution! There is only one solution! Intifada revolution! Intifada revolution! Make some noise! Racist, lazy, crooked cops! Racist, lazy, crooked cops! Get a fucking...
These crowds are getting thinner and thinner and thinner. Have you noticed? Thinner and thinner. Hi, Jeffrey. How you doing? Goodbye, Devin. Have a good evening. Felix, how you doing? Oh, Laura's a boy. Oh, okay. Laura Loomer's a boy. You know, it's like I had one person here, well, talking about there was a woman had her hair done up in a bun. And I had somebody in the chat saying their head was an alien shape, like a big beach ball. And that's why their hair was that way. And it's like, how do these people live? What do their spouses think of them talking that crap? It's a woman who's Iranian here in this country that they sent a hit squad after. She's got a poofed out head of hair, and she had it tied up in a bun. And somebody in chats was saying she had a deformed skull because she's alien. And then I got somebody in here saying, have you seen Laura Loomer standing next to Trump? Or anybody? She's tiny. She has a feline physique. She's a female. Man, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna take care of this right now. It's slurs and idiotic comments like that. Get out. Go. You're out. Anyway, Trump, White House posted this, iced out. They're keeping the name ICE. They're not going to make it nice because Tom Homan didn't like that. He felt proud of the name as it is, and you got to respect Tom Homan's desires in that matter. Here we go again with Donald J. Trump. I know there's crazy stuff going on in this world, but you got to keep your feet on the ground and you got to keep your mind right. That's why a lot of channels got banned, because people were just going off the reservation. This is so cool. Watch President DJT. We need more of this. When you're waiting on an answer, do as a waiter does and serve. Well, Donald Trump thinks it's cool. We should watch it. Could you help me up by any chance? Oh, okay. Let me see.
Could you help me up by any chance?
Pardon?
I can't stand up on my own. Could you help me up by any chance?
Yeah, sure.
I can't see.
How did you get here?
I got my shoes robbed.
Just stop. I don't want you to fall.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
You got your shoes robbed?
Yeah. I don't know where the bus is. Is there a bus nearby?
Oh my God, yeah. Well, you can't go barefooted like that.
Yeah, sure. Have socks.
Can you wait here?
Okay.
Okay, just...
I'll wait right here.
Yeah, just wait right here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get him inside and just sit. And then I'll bring you... Yeah, I need to get him something. There's a Goodwill. I can go get something for him.
Are you sure?
Yes, absolutely.
I don't have any money, though.
Don't worry. We will figure that out. Well, just wait for me, okay, please?
What's your name?
My name is Queen, so just hold on. He got you.
Oh, you got shoes?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I can get you to the bus stop and get maybe a bus ticket.
Are you with somebody?
Yes. I want to get him a compression socks because his legs get swollen.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Victor.
I'm Zach. Are you okay? Are you sick?
I've been sick. I've been better and stage 4 cancer.
We're giving 3 months to leave. Like, why are we even talking to a stranger? You know what? Let's get you settled.
Can I give you a hug, Victor?
Thank you. Oh my God.
Love you.
Oh my God, who are you?
How are you staying strong?
We have each other. And we trust God. Like, He's made it this 4 years. And we're just trusting God that He will leave.
Is there anything you can do at this point?
Well, I did a lot of research and I found out there's a place in Mexico, but we can't afford it. I can take him there and he will get a chance to live.
Victor, what's your dream right now?
Somebody well again to do what I used to do. I've fallen off course of my dream completely. I'm emotionally down, physically.
Can you wait? Let me take him to the bus station and get in a bus pass, okay?
Before you do that, hey Victor, I'm not blind.
Oh. Why are you doing that? What happened?
I was just trying to find somebody kind.
You stole from me.
You're not blind, can you see me?
I can see you.
What is he wearing?
It's wiping his face right now.
Oh my God, he can see.
And you have a bonnet on.
Oh my God, you can see.
And I actually have something for you. I have $1,000 cash.
Oh no.
I hear a lot about sinners.
You need the shoes.
Oh God, you leave. God leaves. God leaves. God leaves. God leaves. God leaves. Oh my God.
Cause the way that the sky opens up when we touch it, it's me.
You don't know what you have done for us. I came here to come out my socks with my last money that we have.
You're gonna give me your shoes. Why?
Because it's better to keep than to receive.
I have friends and I'm gonna try to come together and help you get that treatment in Mexico too. I have 50 million friends.
The lady just called me and I told her that we would not be able to make it. She called me from the facility because I was making inquiries. And I told her that we can't make it. I'm exhausted everything and we don't have the money. We sold our home 3 years ago and I have been spending that money just to make sure he gets well. You're gonna leave, Victor. You're gonna leave. You're gonna leave. You're gonna leave.
Well, that certainly was heartwarming, and I can see why Donald Trump said we should watch that. A little life lesson. A little life lesson. Hi, Gina. How you doing? Wanda, nice to see you. Nice to meet you, Gina. And yes, please misspell that word. You spell it M-O-O. Muslims, okay? To keep me out of trouble in the algorithm. But I was going to point out that John Brennan is Muslim, right? Barack Hussein Obama is a Muslim, right? And if you ever watch Christian Prince, he'll tell you what he feels is the origins of that particular faith. To imitate his voice, it is from the devil. But we'll get into that conversation another time. And I had about 40 people leave the broadcast because they want to see something else besides something heartwarming and something where people feel God and recognize God. They want to see discussions about aliens and tunnels underneath the earth with lizards in them. Well, they can stay gone, okay? I don't want people like that in my chats. This is biblical. This is about God. This is about what's happening here on this earth. And remember, we were told, whoever adds or subtracts one tittle, one comma, one word, one period from the book, whoever adds or subtracts, it says it in the book, their name will be stricken from the list. I don't mean to get in preacher mode. I see people dropping off out of the views right and left. I don't care. I'm here to tell the truth. You live your life by the word, and you live in a way that pleases God. And we're in biblical times, not anything extra biblical. I want to show you a post Donald Trump put up. Speaking of aliens, was this a troll? Was he doing this to troll? Let me find it. I want your all's honest opinion. Because I've got gobs and gobs of pictures and videos about Thomas Massey, about the degenerates that are getting tracked down. What about this picture? Donald Trump put that up. Yeah, it's AI. What do you see? What do you think his message is? Is he trolling people that are falling for the alien look over here and not what's really going on right underneath your feet, right in front of your face? Look up to the sky with fear in your eyes, fear in your heart. Is that, I think that's what he's trolling. But what do you see about this alien AI image? Certainly surrounded. Are those bracelets or handcuffs? Is that a chain? What's on his ankles? If there is such a threat, it's under control. That's what you're being told. Don't worry about it. And if there is alien life, it's God's life that he created. And we're not told to worry about it, except for demons and the lion that walks the face of the earth looking to devour souls. That's what we have to worry about. I put a link in the chats about a half an hour ago. I forgot to even say anything about it. I get distracted by these comments that are so damn ridiculous. Here, this is what been ripping us off, ripping our parents off and our grandparents for generations out of our legacy, making us live lives on a constant treadmill where you never own anything, where at any time they can point a finger at you like Kamala Harris said. I can destroy a life with my signature. You got to pay them money every 6 months if you own a car or a house. You never own a damn thing because of people like this. Oh, but look at the aliens. It's a shell game, a psychological shell game. Trump posted this picture. What's the message in this picture? I got a name for this picture. I have a name. What should be underneath this picture? What I would put underneath this picture says, follow the leader. That's right, Linda. How did you know? Linda, you're a mind reader. I do need my chocolate and peanut butter. Ha ha ha. Well, you heard Miss Mindersu. That is a desultory comment, calling her I guess you're saying she's transgender or a boy. She barely weighs 100 pounds. Her frame, her hips, she's a female. She's flown with Donald Trump on Air Force One. She calls out perverts. Did you see anything in mainstream media about this? One of the biggest stories of the entire second administration of Trump. Did you see any other news service? This is Sky News Australia. The only one that did a story on it that I saw. I didn't go looking for stories. The CIA raiding the Director of National Intelligence offices. You're going to find out that it was a corrupt judge that ordered that. That's my point. And people that want information are looking for, quote, intel. Worry about aliens and lizards in tunnels and all this kind of crap. And you have somebody with the power to go in the Director of National Intelligence's office by force and take records. And they don't worry about that. They don't think about that. They drop off the chats when you see something that Donald Trump posts that this nation needs to see. Remember this guy? Do you all remember? Who's this guy? I'm asking the chats. How many are paying attention? Well, Miss Mindersu, we hear all kinds of stuff. We hear all kinds of stuff. But it takes off like wildfire. That's called a counter. That's called a psyop. When they start spreading things about somebody who's getting close to the truth. People lose credibility. That's right, Kim. I got in trouble with a creator. There's a lot of creators that know me. They won't admit it, but they know me. Big creators. And I've heard them say some side of the mouth comments about me that they wanted me to hear. One of them you all used to watch. A number of them you all used to watch. They all got their channels taken down because I would tell them in their messages, you sound like a damn nut. Stop it. You make us all look like a nut. Like I'll give you an example. Adreno, right? Chrome. See how I broke the word up so I won't get in trouble with the algorithm, right? Adreno and then Chrome, right? We know it's real. We know how they get it. We know it's horrible, disgusting, designer drug, right? But they change it. They change it into, like Joe Biden said one time, you heard about me. They say I drink BLOOD, that I'm like a vampire. I drink BLOOD. No, well, that's where they extract it from. That's where you get any hormone. But then you get people that pay attention with half an ear going around saying, the Democrats go around drinking blood. No. They're hooked on adrenochrome. Oops, I didn't break the word up. But who is this guy? This is a guy that said he distanced himself from Eric Swalwell. He's a billionaire that let Eric Swalwell live in his house. And he said he was shocked. Yeah, the guy was Swalwell's friend, right, Gina? And He did an interview. I believe I played that short video where he said, I just can't believe it. Once you lose people's trust, you're finished with me. I don't want to even know you. I'm shocked by what Eric Swalwell was doing. Well, Stephen Klubik arrested for alleged witness tampering. You know, Swalwell's looking at 11 years in jail just for starters. How people are not paying attention that it's happening. It's happening. What we've been waiting for years is happening. Just because it isn't all done like a TV show, like a Perry Mason. I did it. I admit I did it. Oh, well, that's the end of the show. Now watch a commercial for Palmolive. No. It takes a long time. And we're getting them. And when do birds sing? Ask Mr. Klubik. Okay? Because he's going to be looking at years in jail too. The birds are going to start singing. But people don't stay focused. Focus, focus, focus. Isn't that one of the last messages we got? Focus, focus, focus. Speaking of focus, I started off the broadcast about this guy right here. Chicken eater. Right? Resigned. I got to get that clip where he's crying like a baby on the news show. Blubbering. Well, guess what? As Democrats whine about the loss of a so-called black congressional district, we should remind everyone that Steve Cohen, who represents District 9, is white, and Democrats have spent millions to prevent Charlotte Bergman, a black Republican, from winning the seat. Well, she's going to win it now because he's gone. He's history. He was the one that mocked John Durham. So it took years. Now he's vulnerable. Now he doesn't have congressional lawyers to cover for him. Now whenever he runs his mouth, he's not going to be protected by the debate clause. And if there's dirt dug up on him, he's got to defend himself. Just like James Comey. Got to defend himself. Liberal man records a video saying that when Democrats retake power, this is Christine Aguayo, they will pass laws to make it legal to X3 acute Trump supporters, Republicans, and ICE agents by labeling them traitors. This is not rumor. This is not stuff that's dreamt up. This is recorded videos. Robert Adkerson, who was wearing a pink Antifa shirt, is a system administrator for Execusource. There are perfectly normal scenarios where you're allowed to X3 acute Trump supporters, X3 acute Republicans, X3 acute ICE agents. You can X3 acute terrorists. We can pass laws that make it legal to X3 acute the traitors, but we have to make it a law first. We're not savages. We're not animals. Where is that creep? I'll show you what he looks like. Right here. These are the type of people that not only want control over your life, but they have been getting control over your life through corrupt elections because of foreign interference. Execusource, Georgia Highland. I guess I made people mad. not my good friends in the chats currently, but I made some people mad, but I'm sorry. We got to get real, and we got to stay real, and we can't wander around talking like nutcases. We're putting together an international RICO conspiracy case of epic proportions, and it's coming to a head. It's coming to a head. Yeah, that's right, Roland. Hi, Sandra. Or Sandman, I'm sorry. Sandman. Yeah, Red Wave. Oh, Brush is here. How you doing, Brush? Ha ha, Paul Wall softens your hands while you do the dishes. Ha ha ha. So anyway, before I do want to show this picture because I think Trump is proud of it. Somebody sent him this and he reposted it. Same guy, even more energy now. There you go, Donald J. Trump. So anyway, folks, man, I had about 140 things in here, but I have to discuss stuff as I put it up. Like the Democrats doing an emergency request to the Supreme Court about they're trying to redistrict. And they just threw it in the trash pail. Threw it in the trash pail. Keep this in mind, folks, that any states that knowingly continue with districts that are illegal, racist districts, what is going to happen if they go through with an election? Is it going to get thrown out because they're illegal districts? Keep that in the back of your mind. Clandestine, this is a good point. It always makes me laugh when people are like, Trump needs to do X, Y, and Z. If Trump doesn't know what's going on, as if Trump doesn't know what's going on. The guy just took control of the world's oil flow and is resetting the global order with a sequence of premeditated maneuvers. He has a plan. He has a timeline. And both he and his team are extremely aware of all the things you could possibly be concerned about and many other things we are completely oblivious to. Whatever Trump has planned, it will be time for maximum effect. He is very aware that the fate of the nation and the world is at stake. This is not another 4-year election. This is not a game. It's for the very survival of civilization. Now is the time and the hour, and Trump is the man of the hour. And don't doubt him. Don't underestimate him. Don't worry about things that are extemporaneous, okay? But anyway, I believe this is another AI video, which is, it's okay. This is Spencer Pratt. It doesn't really look like him, but I knew it was one of his videos because the interior of where he's sitting is supposed to be an Airstream, right? You see the aluminum and everything, and we know he's living in an Airstream. But I'm going to close the video out by playing one of his latest ads. I've got a lot of stuff to cover, but hey, we have tomorrow, right, folks? So y'all going to join me tomorrow? Lord willing, I will post. So I put a link in the chats at the 155, 156 mark for Buy Me a Coffee. If anybody wants to help the channel out, this is a totally viewer-supported channel, and I have a QR code on the screen for those of you who may be able to just scan the QR code. I don't know how that works, but I'm sure you all do. And anyway, I'm going to play this Spencer Pratt video for you all, and I hope you enjoy it. And what do I always say? I say Thank you for spending your precious time with me. And yes, Gina, we should vote for. I didn't even get into how Cassidy got kicked out. It's so funny. It's great. And he was whining and throwing rocks at Trump. What a creep. We'll talk about that tomorrow, too. So anyway, folks, thank you for spending your precious time with me. I appreciate you all so much. I hope you have a great evening. Enjoy this video. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
He reposted an AI video.
I think it's a very dangerous trend.
I mean, I was kind of freaked out.
150% fiction. His social media is now taking on a violent turn.
Okay, Karen, you want no violence?
Doozy of a dookie, crap on the sidewalk, pinching a low-faroo. Doozy of a dookie, crap on the sidewalk, pinching a low-faroo. Just a wave of my stick to finish the trick. Crappity, poopity.